I'm here again with Gary Fraley, founder and owner of Fraley and Fraley Law Firm. For today's video, we want to talk about a subject that's fresh on a lot of folks' minds, which is the mortgage crisis in this country. I know many of our clients who come in are having issues with their mortgage, their pre-foreclosure. So I want to ask you generally about, let's start with loan modifications. What have you seen, what have you experienced, what information and insight can you share?
Well, unfortunately, most of the loan modifications, especially under the HAMP program, which is the Home Affordable Program, do not work. They will set up a plan. Sometimes they'll be 3 months, and they'll go 6 months and 8 months, and then they send a denial because they never were going to approve it in the first place. And they go back and say, now you owe all the difference between the loan modification payment and the regular payment, and we're foreclosing. Oftentimes they're already in foreclosure. There's been a notice of default recorded. That clock runs no matter what's going on. Sometimes there's been a notice of trustee sale, and they will postpone that trustee sale, typically from month to month. At the end of this period of time, they may deny it and have a foreclosure a few days later, and people just don't know it because they don't know that the sale was continued. It wasn't dropped.
I know some people experience this kind of twin track problem you're describing, where they're being foreclosed on with the left hand and modified with the right hand, and they're told by the lenders, "Oh, don't worry, we won't foreclose on you while this is going on." What insight can you give them about that? How reliable can the loan representatives actually be?
Well, the loan modification people, as you say, are one department. The foreclosure department is a whole different department. And they'll say the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing, and the left hand is foreclosing anyway. And I've seen people that have been promised, we're not going to foreclose. And the first time I see them is the day after they get the 3-day notice that it's already happened. The only way I have found that it is safe to know what's going on, whether or not there's going to be a foreclosure, is checking with the foreclosure trustee. Usually there's a website, always there's a phone number. If you call the phone number and the foreclosure trustee says it's postponed, then it's postponed. Otherwise, you have to assume that they're going to go forward with that sale. The option is at the other end of the game is if you don't, you lose the house. There is no going back.
But switching gears a little bit, I want to talk about short sales. I know many realtors are soliciting people who are in crisis and offering to help them do a short sale to at least avoid a foreclosure on their record.
From my perspective, there's very rarely is it a good thing to do a short sale. A lot of times people are improperly told, oh, there's not going to be a tax liability, when in fact there is. People think that if you're in the house 2 years, you have no tax. Well, that has to do with capital gains. What you're talking there, if you have a short sale, and the short sale is $100,000 less than the amount owed, you're going to be charged income tax on ordinary income on that $100,000. The only ways around that is, number one, is to do a bankruptcy beforehand, and number two, if you aren't, then you may qualify for under the insolvency rules of the Internal Revenue Code, but don't trust a realtor to tell you your tax rights.
Why not? What is it about the realtors that they're giving bad advice?
They're going to give bad advice for 2 reasons. Number one, they make money if you do the short sale. So they have a vested interest in getting you to do the short sale. Now, some of them are completely honest. In fact, most are completely honest. The problem is they don't know the tax laws, and they're not going to be there to pay your income tax when you get a 1099 for that forgiveness of debt income. And that's what is called forgiveness of debt income, is taxable ordinary income, just like you made that $100,000 at your employment. Now you get to pay tax on it.
The third thing I want to touch on today that many people come in with some misconceptions about is the idea of a forensic loan audit, or suing their lender for fraudulent practices. Have you seen any of those cases in action, and what's the real deal with those?
They're a disaster. I have yet to see one that actually did anything. In fact, a lot of them have been prosecuted for criminal conduct for committing fraud. These loan audits basically are useless. The lender says, tough luck, we're going to foreclose anyway, you want to do something with that, go ahead and sue us. Yeah, and then the client goes out and says, oh gee, I want to sue. Well, nobody's going to take that without them paying thousands and thousands of dollars up front, and the likelihood of success is basically nil. The loan audits are basically a scam. And we had one here in Rancho Cordova recently that was sued by the state attorney general for multi-millions of dollars based on fraud. And they're out of business, but every time you put one crook out of business, another crook comes along and tries to do the same thing. Keep your money in your pocket because it's going to be better used for your family.
So how can people sort the good advice from the bad advice? Is there an easy way, if you're contacted by someone offering to help, that you can figure out, is this person for real or are they scamming me out of money? Is there a rule of thumb they can follow?
Well, there's a number of things if it's an attorney that they can do. Number one, they can go to the State Bar website, confirm the attorney's length of practice. For me, that's basically a third of a century. You can also look for certified specialists. The State Bar website will give you that. There's 7, I think, including myself, in Sacramento. And the last time I looked, there's 102 in the whole state.
What about non-attorneys?
Non-attorneys, don't trust a non-attorney. Go to a tax attorney, go to a bankruptcy attorney. If you need to, go to multiple attorneys. Get the best advice possible. You need to figure out who you can trust and who you can't trust. And the best way is client testimonials, ratings. Avvo rating, for instance, there's a place called avvo.com, that's avvo.com, that rates attorneys. See what they say is a competent attorney.
Well, I'm hoping that the advice you've given today is going to help people avoid some of these scams and perhaps even save a home or 3. So I want to thank you for sharing the time with us, and we'll see you in our next video.
Thank you.